Right, I'm going to do a quick greenhouse tour, and I'm going to close this door because it's really windy outside and it's actually quite chilly, even though it's lovely and sunny now that I've closed the door in here. So yeah, what's going on in here? So I've got all my seedlings and I've just done a video that went sort of through all the details of those, so I'm not going to spend very much time on them. But the most important thing is I've got three big successions of brassicas there. So those are sort of cauliflowers, calabrese, cabbages, purple sprouting broccoli, all those sorts of things. I've got some really nice fennel, got my storage beetroot there, I've got some basil down there. And yeah, and I'm going to basically, my strategy is to keep on growing on this succession after succession after succession as I go through into autumn and actually through into winter, because I've got these grow lights, so I can basically keep everything going really happily all the way through December, January. It's not a problem basically with grow lights, provided you can keep your greenhouse frost free. So it gives me an enormous amount of flexibility in terms of when I start things, and particularly important with things like, because my plot's got clubroot, my allotment plot, it means I can really, I don't have to plant anything out in summer, any brassicas out in summer, so that I can plant all of them out from sort of November through to sort of February time when clubroot is dormant, and they'll be out the ground by sort of mid to late spring when clubroot is only really just starting to get going. And so if I keep the ground fairly alkali, then yeah, I get a good, really good brassica harvest off there, even though I've got extensive clubroot problems. So that's basically what's going on down here. In this corner, I've got one of my late sown, I can't remember exactly when I sowed this, but this is Sun Gold tomato. I've got another one here and another one here. So these are the tomatoes that I'm hoping to be harvesting all the way through October, November probably. And I've obviously got loads and loads of these lovely little red profusion tomatoes in the hanging baskets at the moment. And I'm actually surprised at how well they've kept going. We've been harvesting these for a long time now. I think they're coming up to 7 weeks or something like that. And they're still really pumping out loads and loads of tomatoes every week. And actually, just the tomato harvest here has paid for heating the greenhouse. So in spring. So that has been a real great experiment. I'm going to replace these red profusions with tumblers. I'm actually going to sow the tumblers in a week or so's time, and then I'll obviously sacrifice these plants because I've had loads of tomatoes by then. And then the tumblers will carry on in these hanging baskets again, you know, probably into sort of November, maybe even into December, something like that, until I need this roof space for maybe late strawberries and things like that. So I've got the strawberries out there, day neutral ones that will keep going well into late autumn. So we'll see how that goes. And the peppers in here, I would say are doing okay. So there's peppers all the way along here and a few down on the floor. They're not looking as healthy as the ones on the allotment, but they are further on than the ones on the allotment. Not a lot further on, but there's a lot of colour developing on the fruits at the moment. And yeah, they're looking really nice. But I am kind of questioning what's the benefit really of starting these early and kind of pampering them in the greenhouse for a long period of time, because I put them in the greenhouse in April, so they've been in here a long time now, taking up a lot of space and not giving me a much bigger harvest, or a much earlier harvest perhaps, than the ones on the allotment. So we'll have to see how it pans out. But I am planning to keep these going until, you know, the end of October, early November or something like that in this greenhouse, and we'll see how that goes. And then I'll sort of probably mid-November, something like that, these plants will be out, because then I need all that space down there for lettuces, which will be harvested in December and January, which is the most difficult time to get really good leaf quality from lettuce when it's grown on the allotment. So I'm hoping, because I've got the grow lights there as well, Just a few hours extra grow light time will give me a really nice leaf quality on my lettuces, as I say, at the most difficult time of year. So that's the plan there. This is my oldest cucumber plant. It is still kicking out a few cucumbers. In fact, every time I think I've picked them all, I've realised I've got another one to pick. But I don't really need it now. It's taking up a lot of space. It's sort of casting a lot of shadow on some of the peppers at the back there. So I'm probably going to sacrifice this week or next week. Because I've got 2 cucumbers in the corners and they've been kicking out loads and loads of cucumbers every week for, you know, like a month or so. So I think I'll just stick with these 2 plants going forward, get rid of this one, give everything a bit more space and a bit more light. And it won't be long before the polytunnel cucumbers are starting anyway. So that'll be nice. And then, because I do like my space, I've got my chair here. I do like to sit in here. And then the beans, the French beans, wow, they have given a fantastic harvest over the last 3 weeks or so. But all of those plants basically, I don't know how many there is in there, 6 or 7 plants or something. They're all dying back now. And the ones on the allotment are growing nicely. So I think I'll probably again sacrifice that in a week or 2. As soon as it starts showing any sign of slowing down, I mean at the moment it's giving us like a big handful of French beans every day. So then that spare tomato plant can go in that corner. So then I'll end up with 2 cucumbers, 3 tomatoes, these hanging baskets with tomatoes, all the peppers and all my seedlings in here. And then, as I say, later on, I'll bring the day neutral strawberries in here, my next batch of tomatoes in here. I won't do a late sowing of cucumbers because they just need it too warm, and really I only want to keep this greenhouse frost free, so there's no point even trying to grow cucumbers at that temperature. And so keep these peppers in here for as long as they're productive and healthy, and then start switching over to lettuces, spinach and things like that for harvest in the middle of winter, and then I'm back harvesting from the allotment lettuces and spinach and things like that from towards the end of January or something like that. Oh God, how many times did I say something like that then? Anyway, that's kind of my outline plan of action. I do a lot of brassicas in September and October and November, as I said, because of the clubroot issues, but also to give me like a really nice early harvest. So, you know, we've been harvesting, you know, cauliflowers and calabrese all through spring. We're harvesting red cabbages now. We've had loads of beautiful Savoy cabbages. We've got our last one to pick this week from the allotment. So many things are possible when you can keep your brassicas nice and healthy and start them late and just give them a little bit of a top up of grow lights. And what I mean by that is just topping and tailing the day. So if the day is, let's say it's a 10-hour day, like it would be say in December, I just give them 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours at night to bring the day length up to 14 hours, for example. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the greenhouse. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.